Well, hi there everyone. I'm the nature guy here at Camp Asable. I'm standing right by the Mini Mac Bridge looking out over the lake. A beautiful fall morning. The sky is blue, sun is out, and it's a little chilly. I think winter's coming finally. Today for our nature nugget, I want to talk about eagles. This is a golden eagle that we have in the Nature Center. It's very old. I don't know where it originally came from, but it's a fine example of a golden eagle, which is the largest of all of our eagles. Now we have bald eagles that nest in the trees over there, and the large female bald eagle is almost the same size, but these guys just weigh a little bit more. But what I really want to talk about is the eye of an eagle. Eagles' eyes have the best resolution of just about any eye around that God has made. Now, I want to put this one down and pick up my camera to explain how their eye is so much better. Now, to talk about how come they have such good eyes, we have to understand how we measure how good eyes are, and that is, or one of the ways that we measure it is by resolution. Resolution is a measurement of how clear the picture is. Now, my camera here, if I take the lens off and look inside, we have that sensor inside. And in that sensor, it's made up of many different pixels, as we call it. Those are the little detectors, the smallest little detectors. And there's thousands and actually millions of them, all are lined up in rows to fill that screen. And that's how we capture the picture, the visual field that the lens is pointing at. So the detector inside the camera is like the retina in the back of our eyes, or the eagle's eyes. And now I've got numbers here because I don't want to get this wrong. My camera is 28 megapixels. That means there's 28 million pixels in that little plate I showed you that's ticking up the picture. So it can take a fairly clear picture. Now, much more expensive cameras can be maybe 50 megapixels. So there's 50 million little detectors. Well, it turns out that our eye is better than any of those cameras. The human eye has 576 megapixel resolution. So there's 576 million detectors. Now, we don't call them pixels in our eyes. In our eyes, we call them rods and cones, but they're all the little detectors that we sort of mimicked when we made cameras with megapixels. So the eagle is supposed to be better than ours. What kind of megapixel resolution does it have? We've calculated out just about 3,000 megapixels. So that means they have, through the math, 3,000 megapixels is 3 billion detectors in their eyes so that they get a clear picture. Now, our picture that we see when we use our eyes looking straight ahead is always clearest, straight in the center. We call that the fovea, where there's the most resolution packed in that one spot. Out on the edges, it's not as much. Eagles have two fovea. They have one looking straight ahead and one that looks straight down. So when they're flying, they can be watching out, they don't crash into a tree, but they can also be looking straight down, looking for what it is they're trying to find for breakfast. So I'm not sure how that looks, to be able to see straight ahead and straight down all at the same time. Kind of makes my head hurt a little bit about what that might actually look like in terms of picture in the brain. So the question is, could we ever make a camera as good as an eagle's eye? Well, a group of scientists decided they were going to try. These scientists were actually astronomers because they wanted to take great pictures of the universe, and they wanted to have it really, really clear. So they have built what's called the Large Synoptic Survey Telescope, or for short, LSST. It's located in Chile, up on a mountain. The mountains there don't shake as much as the mountains in the US, so I guess that's why they chose that spot. Its resolution is 3,000 megapixels, just a little bit over 3,000 megapixels, like an eagle's eye. So they've built an eagle's eye, but get this, it weighs 6,000 pounds, okay? In order to make something equivalent to an eagle's eye, which is maybe just 3/4 of an inch across, this camera is 6,000 pounds, about the size of a car. It cost $168 million to build the camera and $280 million for the lens, okay? And an eagle has two of those. or equivalent of 2 of those. So it really shows how incredible the eagle's eye is. And it's taken us so much money and technology and time to make something that's even similar, okay? So now, why is it important for an eagle to have that resolution? That's because they can see a rabbit 2 miles away with that resolution. Try it sometime. Go 2 miles and look back and see if you can find a rabbit. Or another person figured it out. If we had the vision of an eagle, we could read a newspaper from 1/4 mile away. That's amazing. So this idea of resolution and seeing things clearly and finding things reminds me of a verse in Jeremiah 29, verse 13 and 14. It says, search for me. So we're supposed to look for God. But here's the thing. When you search for me with all your heart, you will find me. And the next line is really important. I will let you find me, says the Lord. The Lord isn't in the business of hiding. He doesn't play hide and seek with us. He wants us to look for him and find him. And he's promised we will. That's our lesson for today. See you next time. Bye now.